Welcome to another Guide 2 with me, MrSealyp. The Biobeltz TC 750 timber trailer, log trailer from Toxic Om. As you can see, this looks incredibly flat and low to the ground for a trailer. That will all be explained momentarily. It is a log trailer, and it comes with a crane, which is very handy. Some nice little details on this and some great functionality. However, there are a couple of drawbacks which we will look at very quickly in the store. We'll go to Forestry equipment, and if you've installed it, the Biobeltz TC 750 is sitting right there at $9,899 as a mod from Toxic Om. With these containers, they can transport timber. You can change the colour, main colour of the cage itself, to any of those available. Leasing costs aren't too expensive, which is good. First drawback, and it's not really a huge drawback, I say, but you need the IT runner pack for this to work. So we need the IT runner trailer or equivalent if the IT runner truck that came out comes back again. But anyway, you're going to need an IT runner trailer to use this piece of equipment. That's about 55,000, I think, on its own. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, 55,000 for the IT runner. Once you've got the base, then the rest of it you can buy no problem at all. So, as I was saying, there are some nice features. Good crane, very useful bit of kit, works very well. Once you've had a bit of a fiddle around with it and you kind of used to the controls, which is good. You've got two feet that come out to provide more stability when you're actually using the crane and loading logs. So what we'll do is just jump into the JCB. I've already put the arm out on the IT runner trailer. So let's hook this up and lift it. Now here's the next drawback. As you can see, there is a seat on the back, and if you use the stepper trailer, you can sit in the seat. It puts your character in there and you can use the crane like that. You cannot get into this. There's no enter button. You can't get onto that crane at all. If you put the base on the ground, which I thought that'd be quite handy actually, put that on the ground, get into the seat and operate the crane. You can't unless it's on the trailer and hooked up to a tractor, because it kind of takes the whole thing as one unit. So that's the second minor drawback. It's a bit, I don't know, maybe it's just me being pernickety about it, but once it's on the trailer you can take it wherever you need to, as you would expect. So what I will do is show you the couple of features about that rocking. So, no, not that. So we have stability legs that come out. The animations are good. It's all very smart. Lifts it just enough off the floor to get a bit of stability. Crane arm. We've got the usual manoeuvrability you would expect. We've got the up and down function. We've then got the arm out function or arm back function. You can fold it right back up if you want to. Let's try and get a better angle on that. So you can fold it right up, or you can fold it right out. Which does give you an incredibly long reach. As you can see, That's not a bad reach on that crane, hence the stability on those arms, although you are still getting a bit of, there's a bit of rock there, but then it is on its full stretch. I wouldn't anticipate ever moving it that far out. If you need to go that far out, just move the trailer, that would make more sense. So you got your up and down, the in and out, the variation in there, but I do like the fact you can see all the hydraulic rams doing their thing. It's all very good. Now the head itself, you've got your rotate function, and then your claw open and closed. So it all works very, very well. I like it. Just quickly jump out. A few more of the details as you look around here. Obviously that's the IT runner base, that's not the mod itself. But the attachment, it goes on, it fits and marries up very nicely, considering it's another mod by a different modder. Again, decals, my kind of taste test, getting nice and close, those decals don't blur. It is the frustrating thing is it's a good mod, but there's little things that I'm finding difficult to reconcile, and that's just me. So let's disconnect that, like so, and hook up to the one that I've already kind of got in use. Now here's the final little foible. So if I get the crane out, and as you can probably tell, let's have a look. It does take a bit of fiddling about. There are different settings, you can obviously have different views. There's the view there, you've got in cab, and the actual crane arm itself, which is quite a nice view, makes it quite handy. There's the tractor one out of cab, which sometimes is quite handy because you can get in much closer to the crane if you want to. Again, that all depends what you're specifically looking to do. Now, here's the other little problem I found. And it is a little problem. It's nothing major. Just try and, like I say, it's getting to grips with the controls. So, let's get that out. There we go. Right. That if I can around that log. Now it's not really gripped that particularly well. Now what I've had to do is, these logs are all 8 metre cut lengths. Now if you look at the length of the trailer and look at the length of the log, I've had to chop these down to load this up. Now operating it isn't overly complicated, it's not too difficult at all. We can move it around and do whatever we need to load the trailer, but the only small thing, and again it's another one of those mildly frustrating things, is that, let me just turn that off, because the crane is at the back here and not here as it is with the stepper and other ones, you can only load logs in that length because the crane arm's in the way. You can't do anything about that. Now you could have ones that are slightly longer that come this side and some that are slightly longer that come this side of the crane, but essentially the crane itself is in the way and preventing you. I know again it's a real picky thing, but what's good about some of the other trailers is you can cut longer lengths and have them overhang. It has got tension belts, so if I put a tension belt on that one now, like so, it will tension over very, very nicely. The tension belts are there and will do what they need to. So if you tension belt it down, it wouldn't hurt if you had overhanging logs. But that crane arm, it's just, I don't know, like I say, it's probably me just being a bit pernickety. But if the crane arm had been over to the left or to the right or that end, that wouldn't have been an issue. Just a minor thing. In essence, The mod is good. I like it. The details are fantastic. The crane works perfectly. Nothing wrong with that at all. Loading and unloading, very, very straightforward. Very cheap for it. 9,899, whatever it was. I will double check that because I don't want to get that wrong. 9,899. It's a cracking mod. Just those tiny little things. You can't operate it unless it's all hooked up as one unit. You can't operate it if it's just sat on the ground. Obviously it has to have these arms out to stabilise it. You can't sit actually in the crane. It has to be done kind of as a unit. And the crane arm is kind of in the way for loading logs. It sounds like a very damning review, doesn't it? Judge for yourself. Like I say, I've shown you what they look like, what it does. It loads and unloads incredibly well. It's a very, very smooth action. Sometimes you get them in these rollers when they hit the ground, they dig in and it judders the trailer around. And I've unloaded and loaded a couple of these a couple of times now, and I haven't had a problem with that at all. But like I say, maybe that's just me being me. You be the judge, but I've just shown you what it does, what it can do, what you need to make it work. I hope you found this useful and informative. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.